here. Do you feel like you guys are getting the momentum that you're wanting? Are you close, or do you think there's anything significant needed?
I would say for 4 games, it's been good. Obviously not our best on whatever the other night. It needs to be a factor. It needs to at least build momentum, no matter what. And it wasn't the other night, I would say.
Left side, front row.
Connor, throughout these playoffs, you guys have done a good job of bouncing back after disappointing losses. Obviously, the loss the other night was disappointing. What is it about this team that's able to do that, and what are you expecting out of tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about the opportunity. As you said, we've bounced back. A lot's been made about that. We talk about that all the time. But for whatever reason, our group doesn't like to make it easy on ourselves and put ourselves in another difficult spot, and it's our job to work our way out of it, and I would expect that tomorrow.
Right side, front row.
You got your first goal of the series. You have 7 points. What have you thought of your own play, and what would you like to do better yourself in Game 6?
Oh, well, it's not really about me. It's about us. It's about us trying to get a win here tomorrow night. That's what we're looking forward to. I think everybody has another level, myself included.
Left side, front row.
Connor, obviously you're a highly tuned athlete that puts a lot into this, but I'm just wondering what has allowed you to I guess, still have energy to keep playing this many games after 2 years and still be here in mid-June?
Obviously, there's lots of motivation, lots of excitement. They're in the same boat, and they've had an extra year of it. So, 2 teams that know what it's like to play in this intensity, in this environment, at this time of the year. It's fun. It's what it's all about.
Right side, second row.
Connor, you played a lot against Barkov the last 2 years, so you've got to see it up close. He's won the Selke a few times. What makes him so difficult to get open against and get chances against him?
It's the whole team. Their whole team defends really well. Whether you're out there against Barkov or anybody else, it's difficult. They play a really, really solid brand of hockey. If you do manage to get through Barkov and their forwards, then they got Forsling, Ekblad, Jones, back there, and they got a pretty good goalie as well. So they're a good team. They don't make it easy on you, but it's our job to figure them out, I guess.
Left side, second row.
Connor, obviously all your focus is on tomorrow night, but today the Olympic team first 6 players get named. You get named. We know how much 4 Nations was meant to you. We know this is a dream for you. What's it going to be like? What was it like to be named to that and to get a chance to play with Sid again?
Yeah, another incredible honor. Incredibly honored to represent my country at the biggest sporting event in the world. You think of the Canadian players that could be named to that team and to be selected again. It means a lot, obviously. But we're looking forward to tomorrow, obviously, and what we have right in front of us, and that's a heck of an opportunity to go win a hockey game.
Right side, third row.
Connor, you're the greatest player in the world. How much extra pressure is there for you to win this game and drag it back to Edmonton and win a Stanley Cup?
That's a pretty heavy question. I don't think about it that way. If you think about it that way, you'd be probably pretty crippled in terms of in how you prepare and how you play. So it's a big game. Everybody knows that. I know that, and I'm looking forward to it. It's fun hockey. It's been a fun series to be a part of. The cup will be in the building. It's those games are what you dream of. Obviously, it's not for us, but. Anytime the cup's in the building and you're playing, it's a good sign.
Left side, fourth row.
Darnell, no, it's not easy to talk about a guy sitting next to you, but you watched Connor grow up in this league. I'm just wondering what stood out about how he's developed, and not so much on the ice, but as a leader off the ice, and the guy who pulls the rope the most for you guys.
Yeah, he's I don't want to toot his horn too much because he's beside me, but his work ethic, what he brings to the rink every day, sets the example for our group. When he speaks up, everyone has a lot of respect because of the amount of work that he puts in, and not only when we come to the rink and prepare practice-wise, game-wise, but knowing what goes on behind closed doors and the commitment and the sacrifice and everything that he does for this game and for this team. It motivates us, and I'll have to bring it tomorrow.
Left side, fourth row.
This could be for either of you guys. You guys have played some of your best hockey, facing elimination, game 6-7 versus Vancouver. You survived 3 times versus Florida. What can you take from those experiences, maybe mentally, that could help you tomorrow night?
I think for our group, we got a lot of guys that, for whatever reason, and like adversity, like the competition, like the being pushed. And tomorrow is the epitome of that. It's not a situation we haven't been in before. So there's lots of there's lots of experience to draw back on. But for us, we just gotta enjoy the moment, enjoy the game, enjoy taking it one day at a time.
We'll take a few more right side, front row.
Darnell, when you guys have played with both goaltenders in there, how does your play sort of change with one or the other in terms of puck handling, you guys as defensemen sort of handling the defensive zone in front of Calvin and Stewart?
Yeah, I mean, they handle the puck a little bit differently. I mean, with that said, it doesn't matter which goalie's in there. We have lots of confidence as D-men, and as a team, we have to play better in front of them and defend better and limit the grade A chances that we're giving up against. They're 2 goaltenders that have brought us to the Stanley Cup Finals 2 years in a row, and there's not many other groups that can say that.
Left side, front row.
Hey, Darnell. I just want to ask you about getting the puck out when they have that tough forecheck on. I know you guys, Chris wants guys to be possession puck team. I guess what are the challenges of playing against that forecheck and keeping possession of the puck and trying to maintain it coming out with speed in your own zone?
Yeah, obviously you talked about it a lot. They have a good forecheck. We have a good puck moving D that can make plays, and we got to go out there and just make plays.
More serious, or it's still good as it used to be during the
It's light. Guys are enjoying the day. But we know what's at stake, and we know what the task is, and I don't think we've lost focus to that. But it was a good day.
You were in a better situation this year than you were last year. In the same game 6, you guys were battling back from 3-0 down. Does that? How do you kind of look at that in the big picture, that you are in a better spot than you were a year ago?
Well, I would say we're in the same spot.
Well, okay.
Down 3-2.
Down 3-2, yeah.
But we can use that and channel that, but we've always said this is a different year. This is a different team. And they're a different team, and it's about making sure that we can go out there tomorrow and do our job.
You've played a lot of games like this, Corey. What's the right approach for the group on a night like tomorrow night?
We have to be ready from the start. But yeah, it'd be nice to get out and play with that lead. That's our goal, is to start strong and get that first one and play from there.
It was very physical for the first 3 games, I guess.
Yeah.
It seemed to change a little bit, Corey. Do you have an idea maybe why the hit total came down? Was it maybe a little unsure about each other's power plays, or what do you think happened?
Just settling into a series, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, as the series goes on, every series is like that. It's up tempo and a lot of hits early, and then you settle in and you play your game. And I think that's the way it's gone.
So often in these series, when it's a battle of styles, it's about who gets to their game. What do you guys need to do to make it more an Edmonton Oilers style of hockey going forward?
We're a team that plays with the puck. We make plays and we come through the neutral zone with the puck, and we break out really well. And if we're doing that, it means they don't have the puck, and we're controlling it. And that's kind of our game.
Corey, you're 40. You played a lot of Stanley Cup Finals, and he's won one. Connor has not won one.
Connor Brown,
is there
another backdrop here?
Undue pressure, extra pressure on a guy like the best player in the world who's dying for this? I know the team is, but so much.
I mean, I'm not going to put he is the best player in the world, and that's what we're striving for is to get him one. And I think there's a lot of guys in that room that we're trying to get one. And these are exciting. This is fun, and we said all season that we don't do it the easy way. We've always taken it and made it the hard way, and that's our approach.
You're a hard winner, and you've played different roles. What's the difference in pressure like when in regards to McDavid or Draisaitl when you're playing that role versus a different role in a situation like this?
Well, I don't think there's any other pressure. Everybody still has to bring their game and play their style of game. It doesn't matter who you are.
We won't know today who's the starter goalie, but do you guys know?
What have you learned about Connor in the year and a half you've been here? And everyone knows he's a great player, you would have known that, but just about his leadership off the ice, what he brings in terms of how he helps the group in these moments.
Well, he's huge. I didn't know him that well. I played with him at World Championships, but he was a lot younger. I didn't know him that well when I came in, and I was very surprised, and how outgoing he is in the dressing room, how he can, he's just friends with everybody, and he's that leader. There's a voice, and he uses it, and when it needs to be said, or something needs to be said. But his actions speak louder than his words, and I wouldn't ask for probably a better captain, that's for sure.
What have you seen from the power play? You guys are pretty good at making tweaks and adjustments when you need to.
Yeah.
You feel like it was far off?
I don't think it's far off at all. You look at the last game. Rebound on me, post. There's a few things that inch the other way. It's in the back of the net. We've always said that the power play has to bring momentum for the rest of the team, and I think we've done that. I think we've had the momentum and had the puck and a lot of zone time and made some good plays. We just got to be able to capitalize.
You guys have had some disappointing losses along the way. Obviously, the other one last night was disappointing. But what is it about this team that you guys have always been able to bounce back with a better performance after a tough display?
Well, their backs are against the wall. So after a disappointing game, all around, you have to bounce back. It's playoffs. If you don't, everything's over and sudden you're going home for the summer. So you got to be able to flush it, move on, and be ready for the next one. And we know what's at stake. We know where we are, and we want to make sure it doesn't happen.
Corey, you know the feeling of winning one stuff like that, but you know also the feeling of being on the other side. Can you use maybe the pain from last year as, I know you have a ton of motivation, but can you use it as motivation for tomorrow?
Yeah, I think you can. You can draw on some of that stuff and pull from it, and but once you get on the ice, it's just hockey. You have to go out and you have to do your game, play your game, and not try to do anybody else's. It's a matter of playing your game and going forward.
What did Max Jones take the middle stretch today? Got a big cheer.
Oh, he had a great practice. He was, he knocked over Wally right at the start, and then came out and he actually had a good practice. So that's what I mean by being light today. It was a good energy out there.
Been outscored 7-0 in the last 3 games, and I guess more importantly, what do you feel you guys have to do tomorrow to turn the tide in that area?
3 of those 4 games, penalties. Last game wasn't an issue, but a lot of that outscoring is from their power play. So I think it's important for us, one, not giving them those opportunities on the power play, but also just taking away our flow and our attack if we are in the box. And I think that's the most important thing. And, the last game I thought we started off very well. And as soon as that first goal went in, made a mistake, they scored on it, and then set us back a little bit. So I think we were prepared to play. I thought we came out well. But, I think the most important thing is staying out of the penalty box.
Right side, front row.
Chris, are you prepared to name a starter today?
I am not.
Just wanted to ask about Evander King. Obviously, he has lots of elements that this team could use in a series like this. He's been up and down the lineup here. What have you seen from him? What do you need from him?
The physicality has always been there. I think that's been part of it. You see him getting in the forecheck and making some big hits. That's important. Penalties is one. Like our team, just need to take fewer penalties. And, when he gets an opportunity, he can be quiet for a while, but gets an opportunity, he's dangerous to score. So that's an element that Evander's has always brought. And, it's a tight checking game. We're not going to have many chances. So when we do, having a guy like him in the lineup, the ability to score is important. So, like some offensive contributions, but ultimately it's just playing a sound game, 200-foot game like the rest of our team.
Left side, front row.
Chris, you were in the same situation last year. I know the venue is a little different, and the manner you got here is different. But I just want to ask you, what can you learn from that situation last year that you were able to win Game 6, and and your ability to kind of bounce back after disappointing efforts?
I think our guys are resilient. That's been a term that's been used to describe these guys for a long period of time. Last year, this year, how many elimination games that we had. Just for some reason, when their backs are up against the wall and they've hit rock bottom, or they're facing elimination, and that goes back to pretty much my first day with the organization. They were near the bottom of the standings and couldn't get much worse, and didn't look like they were going to make playoffs. And of course, they respond and they play extremely well and win a ton of games. Last year in the playoffs, numerous elimination games, whether against Florida, Vancouver, again, backs against the wall, they play their best, and they don't they panic. Like, the mood out there today on the ice was fantastic. They're embracing the challenge. They love challenges. So we'll being down facing elimination is not an ideal situation, but for this group, it's almost like that's what they wanted to be in.
Left side, third row.
Chris, you and the players always say that you have two very good goaltending options, two guys that you trust. So what are the factors that you consider when you're making this very difficult decision?
Just getting everybody's impact, input. Whether that's Stan Bowman's thoughts, or Paul Coffey, or Dustin Schwartz, or Glenn Gulletson, Mark Stewart, and our players. Knowing who they feel is going and who they feel confident at that time. And then, there's also the workload and, numerous things that we can think about. Obviously, February playing 3 and 4 is a little bit different than playing an elimination game. But I think it's just ultimately, who do we feel is in the best position to win us a game? And that's pretty much how the games have gone previously, and who's looking really good at that moment, and then we make our decision.
Take a few more. Left side, fourth row.
Chris, what have you learned? You've obviously known Connor for a long time, but what have you seen in him develop as a leader in terms of these moments and what he brings to the group?
Well, I think he's always been a leader. Surprisingly, when I was first met him when he was 15 years old, he was underage in the Ontario Hockey League, and he was a leader there. Like, the respect the players had for him, and not that he was the most vocal guy, but I think it was his work ethic, attention to detail, how focused he was at his game and being the best player possibly. That I was surprised at how much respect and that they had for him, and there's no, there could have been some jealousy or whatever, but and I think it's just because he worked so hard at his game, but probably more importantly is how much he acknowledges the other players' contributions, and as he's got older, when junior, and same here, I'm assuming the NHL, you get more comfortable, you become a leader because you've been with the team longer, and you build that rapport with all the players. So I just think overall, I think the most important factor is just that he's got so much respect from the players, and that's just because of who he is, like how he treats his approach to the game, and his acknowledgement of the players, his teammates' contributions.
Two more, right side, third row.
You talk about team and you talk about Connor acknowledging other players on the team, but does the best player in the world have any extra pressure to get this back to Edmonton and win a Stanley Cup? And we're talking about Connor. When you're the best player,
I think Connor's just focused on playing his best. I think it's whether it's a Stanley Cup elimination game or a mid-season afternoon, whatever it is. He's always focused on bringing his best, and I think that's what's propelled him to have the career that he has, and been able to just separating himself from most players is his drive. And so I don't think it's any different than if it's a Stanley Cup game or a mid-season game. His goal is always to be the best player on the ice. He doesn't always want to be acknowledged to be the best player, but I think it drives him that he wants to be the best player. So I think he'll be driven to be the best player this next game.
Last one, left side, second row.
Two quick ones. Nugent Hopkins, what's his status for Game 6?
We believe he'll be able to play.
Okay. And then the fact that Stu was pulled twice in this building in the series, how much does that weigh into your decision for goaltending?
Yeah, it's some consideration, but I think also of how he's responded and how he's played in difficult situations, especially later half of the season. And yeah, maybe you got pulled, but I don't put any of that blame on him. So I think Stu, like our team, is very resilient. They play their best when their backs are against the wall, and we need great performances from them. No different than whether it's Stu or Picks. I think they've been able to come up big at most important times.